Well, it has certainly been a while. Certainly been a while. I know I like to make this about travel and adventure and having fun, but I think given the circumstances, a life update video is appropriate here. The last time you guys saw me was, let's see, like 8 months ago, and I had just shot myself in the hand, and that was pretty crazy. So I'm gonna take you guys through everything that happened now to then, and I'm actually in Pennsylvania right now on another trip. Been traveling the whole time, still gonna be traveling. There's still gonna be travel videos. I pretty much got my life back on track. So where I left off the last video, go back and watch the I got shot video if you haven't seen that already. And I was in Colorado at my cousin's place a few days after shooting myself in the hand with a 9mm bullet. And again, go watch that other video if you don't know the circumstances surrounding that. So I had to stay in Colorado for 10 days after the incident. I had surgery to repair my hand at Memorial Hospital in Colorado Springs, which is a giant hospital. They took really good care of me. And the doctor who did my surgery wanted me to stay in Colorado for 10 days to do a follow-up appointment before I flew back out. So I was with my cousin for a week and a half, went back for my follow-up appointment. Basically, again, watch the other video to know how it happened. But I took a 9mm bullet through the hand, went in, can kind of see the scar, went in right here, went through sideways, broke all the bones, came out right there. And it was my fault. I was working with a jammed gun that was very badly jammed, shooting reload ammo, and the gun people out there will know what that means. And I did something stupid. I let my hand go in front of the barrel, and I shouldn't have done that. But basically, I got my life back. My hand is healed very good. So I had surgery the day after it happened, and then I had about 3.5, 4 months of physical therapy. And my hand, it's good. I live a normal life. My thumb, so I'll say this, my whole hand has reduced grip strength. This is it right here. The other hand's holding the phone. And it was my left hand. I'm right-handed, thank God. It has reduced grip strength in every finger, and I will for the rest of my life, but it's not that bad. Other than the grip strength, my thumb is fine, my first finger is fine, my pinky is fine. It's just these two fingers right here, my middle finger and my ring finger. They're going to be messed up for life. I have no feeling in my middle finger. Just because the way the bullet went through, it cut off the nerves or whatever's in there. And I have reduced feeling in my ring finger. And so the middle finger just feels tingly and numb, but it's not really anything that bothers me. I barely even notice it anymore. And it really, the surgeon did a great job. I really did get my life back together. My hand is doing great. And I got my job back. I was driving a cement mixer in Tampa before this happened. And I was out of work for 5 months recovering. And the company I work for was phenomenal from start to finish. My hair's a mess because I just took a shower. It's wet. I still have the mullet. Mullet's been growing for a while now. Love it. The company I work for down in Tampa Bay was amazing. They took me right back. I called my manager every couple weeks to give him updates on how I was doing. Right from the first phone call, when I literally had to call my manager and say, I just took a bullet through the hand. I'm not going to be at work on Monday. And the reaction was, get better. We hope you're okay. Let us know when you can come back. And I work for a great company. That combined with there's a big shortage of CDL truck drivers nationwide really played in my favor. And I was out for 5 months. I shot myself early September. It was Labor Day weekend of 2021. And I returned to work January 31st of 2022. It was about 5 months. And they took me right back. I got a little bit of a raise too. And so I got my job back. My life's back on track. And basically, it's just, I want everybody to know I'm okay. I did something stupid. I learned from it. And it's like when you crash your car, you're not never going to drive again. I still do enjoy the shooting range. I still do enjoy, owning firearms and, legally and responsibly, of course. That is still a lifestyle that I live and I choose to live. And, that's not changing. But let me take you through what happens between after I get shot to when I went back to work. I haven't even told you guys the best part and the craziest part of the story yet. So when this injury happened, obviously I was living in Tampa, Florida. Well, not right in Tampa. I was living in Gibsonton, which is right next to Tampa. And I usually keep my personal life out of these vlogs for the most part, but it's relevant here, so I'm going to say this. I was dating a really good girl for about, I don't know, 1 to 2 months. Well, probably 1 to 2 months before any of this happened. And she lived in a different state. We were doing the long distance thing. She lived in Maine. I was in Florida. Like we would, fly and we hung out on weekends here and there. But yeah, we were still pretty. Things were going fantastic, but we were still pretty early along in the process when I shot myself. And I remember from the ambulance in Colorado taking me to the hospital, I made 2 phone calls. One was to her, and one was to my dad to tell them both what had happened. And of course, my dad freaked out and was like, pretty like stressed out about it, as any parent would be. And my girlfriend Melissa was not mad at me for being so stupid, which anyone would have been reasonable to be mad at that. The only reaction she had was like, "Are you okay? And can you get to me?" So when they let me, it wasn't a matter of them letting me. I could leave Colorado whenever I wanted to. They recommended I stay for 10 days for a follow up, which I did. So when that follow up appointment was done and I could, head out of Colorado, I didn't fly home to Florida. I flew to Maine to be with my girlfriend Melissa for 2 reasons. One, I just really liked her and wanted to see her. And two, my hand for like probably 2 months, something I don't remember exactly. It was probably a good 2 months after the injury happened. It had to be cleaned and bandaged twice a day. That's what the doctor said. I did it once a day because I just, it was a very, let me tell you, it was a very painful process. After you take a bullet through the hand, to have your cast taken off and your bandages removed and cleaned with like peroxide oil or whatever that is, like there's some kind of chemical that stung like crazy every time and had to be rubbed in all my wounds on both sides of my hand. And I had 4 holes in my hand from pins because the surgeon put pins in my hands to make the bones heal the right way. All of that had to be cleaned with chemicals that stung every day. And I knew there was no way I was going to do that myself. I would just blow it off. Because I was renting a room in Gibsonton, Florida. I had roommates, but I didn't hang out with them. I was just roommates to split bills and stuff. I was renting a room in the house, and the roommates were kind of driving me crazy anyway, so I couldn't wait to get out of there. So I didn't want to go back there. That would not be a good environment for me to heal in. So, and I wasn't, really crazy about going out of Florida because I loved it, but I knew there was nobody that could provide the care I needed there. And obviously, I could have gone back to New Hampshire and stayed with my parents, and they would have done it. But all I wanted to do was go see Melissa. Like I said, we'd been dating for 2 months, 1 to 2 months, and things were fantastic. And so I flew to Maine to be with her. And when this injury happened, I wasn't really sure what was going to happen. All I knew is I screwed up. I wasn't ever sure if I was going to be able to drive a truck again. So I felt like my career was down the toilet. And I didn't really have, I didn't have much hope at the time. I just, I'm a Baptist Christian, prayers and talking to Melissa, what got me through it in that week in Colorado that I was stuck out there. And all I wanted to do was just go see Melissa. And so I called her up and said, hey, how about if I fly to Maine? I don't want to go back to Florida right now. I can't be by myself after this because of the wound care. And her reaction was, yeah, as soon as you can get here, just get here. And so as soon as I got my follow up appointment in Colorado done, I flew from Colorado to. I actually flew to Boston because there was a last minute flight. The flights to Maine were too expensive. I flew first class actually. I'll never forget it. I was up there in first class on an American Airlines flight, and it was like business suit. There's a guy in a business suit next to me, and I was just there in like my dirty jeans and t-shirt, and mullet, and ball cap, looking like a total redneck. Which, well, I really am. Let's be honest here, and that's not a bad thing. And I had my cast on. I just looked unwell. I remember just looking like crap, feeling like crap. And I had, the doctor prescribed pain pills with me. And, like, the guy in the business suit next to me had to open my pill bottle for me because I just couldn't do it. My hand was so weak at that point. It was just a funny thing being up in first class with, like, some redneck who shot himself next to business suits. And I'm going on and on here, but I'm trying to give you guys the most accurate details that I can and take you through this and really show you that my life's back on track. So when I was arriving in Maine to see Melissa, I wasn't really sure how long I was going to be there. I didn't really have a plan at that point. All I really had was like, my life is, effed up. I just lost, a really good high paid job. And, I don't know if I'm going to be able to live in Florida anymore because if I can't drive a truck, how am I going to pay rent? And it's like, I was in a bad place. All I could think about, I just want to go see her. And I didn't know if that was going to be a weekend, a week, a couple weeks. And I really didn't have any plan in my head. I just wanted to go see her. And let me just get straight to the point here. That weekend or week long trip to see her with no idea what the future held with really any aspect of my life. Let me tell you what happened. So this is Melissa.
Hi guys.
Sitting right here. We're married. So I was in Maine with Melissa for 5 months after the injury. Other than, taking a bullet through the hand, it was the best time of my life. And like I said, we'd been dating before this happened and things were really going well. But it was just, we got close because we were together every single day. And she helps me, do all my wound cleaning. And you can be honest, how did I take that?
Hard.
I see. I'm not good at medical stuff. I don't do needles.
He whined every time.
Exactly. I hate medical stuff. Like my biggest fear, my number one fear in this life is being on that like operating table, cut open, having doctors working on me, and that's exactly what I went through. And it's like all of a sudden I'm on vacation, life is good, and then bam, bullet through the hand. I'm on an operating table in Colorado, 2,000 miles from home. And it was crazy. She got me through it.
I did.
Mm-hmm. And we grew really close. So I was in Maine with Melissa probably about 4.5 months. And the first couple months were hard because I was in a lot of pain. And Melissa was working full time. So she'd go to work. She took a few days off when I first got out there. I would pretty much just lay in bed all day for like 2 months. It was that bad. And the pain was bad. And then it started to heal, and it got to the point where like I was just getting bored. So I ended up taking a job. I was a cashier at the Goodwill by the Pound outlet store in Maine, and it was Gorham, by the way, Gorham, Maine. That's where me and Melissa were, and that's where Melissa's from. Well, she's originally from Arizona. But she mostly grew up in Maine. She'd been there, what, like 20-ish years?
Yeah, about 20 years.
Yeah, she was from Maine. So we're both New Englanders, even if we're not proud to admit it. No offense if you're from New England. I just like Florida better. So it was good. Like I was in physical therapy the whole time. I found a doctor in Portland who was a hand surgeon. He was like the only, like Maine. I have nothing against Maine, but it's a small state. There's not a lot. Like the biggest city in the state's like 65,000 people. So there was only like one hand surgeon in that area. And he took me on as a patient, and I went to him for like the aftercare of my hand injury, and he took the pins out of my hand and did all that stuff. And I was in physical therapy in Portland, Maine. And Melissa drove me to therapy, made sure I went, made sure I did the exercises that I was supposed to be doing. I'm going to switch hands here. Made sure I did the exercise. I'm using my shot hand to try to hold this camera. It's not going so good. That's all right. That looks okay. So that it was a journey. She was here to support me through it. And so we both ended up with jobs in Maine. Obviously, she was from there, so she was already working full time. I was working, well, it was part time at first, and then we were so busy, I ended up being full time at Goodwill for a while. And then that lasted until we left Maine in January. So it was like September to January. We got married in Las Vegas, January in 2022. And we did it at Treasure Island in the wedding chapel there. We had 9 people in attendance, including the kids that were there. Was I believe 9, right?
Yeah.
So we had 6 adults and 3 kids that were there. Immediate family only. And we wanted it small. Like, we didn't want to have like some huge production and have like 200 people on the beach. It was like, it's just effort we didn't want to do. We're like, let's just do it now before I go back to work in Florida and just get it done. And so that's what we did. It was really great. I had a great time out there in Las Vegas. And then we flew back to Maine. And then we packed everything up and we moved to Florida. We drove in Melissa's car back to the Tampa Bay area. And my pickup truck was in storage in Florida the entire time. My pickup truck and my jet ski were at a storage yard in Florida. We actually flew down, me and Melissa, to Tampa a couple weeks after I got shot, because my pickup truck, when the injury happened, it was supposed to be a 2-day trip to Colorado. But I'm gonna stop. I'll come
No,
back
you're
to
fine,
I'll
you're
come
fine.
back to you in a minute.
You're good.
So my pickup truck was at the Tampa airport parking garage for like 3 or 4 weeks after the injury on what was supposed to be a 2-day trip. So it was like over $400 in parking when I finally got back down there. But I mean, it was okay because the truck was safe. I had the money and I loved that pickup truck. So I moved it to the storage lot my jet ski was in. Me and Melissa flew down to Florida a couple times when we were in Maine. And actually, I just sold the jet ski and we bought a boat, so there'll probably be some boat videos coming up of all kinds of adventures.
Phantom.
Yeah,
We named it Phantom.
The boat's name is Phantom Harbor. That'll be another video probably in a couple weeks. I sold the jet ski and we got a boat. Yeah, it should be pretty fun. So the boat's now at the storage lot. And like I was saying, I was having some trouble with my roommates were just a pain in the butt, and I didn't really want to be there anymore at the room I was renting. So we got an apartment in Riverview, Florida. That's where we live now, and everything's back on track. Hey there.
Mhm.
So everything's good. So Melissa got the same job she had in Maine. She was able to work for a different company doing that exact type of work, which she does like, in Florida.
Dogs. Boarding.
Yeah, she works with dogs. And yeah, she's doing the same work she was, just in Florida. And I'm doing the same thing I was. I'm right back at the concrete company driving a cement mixer. We're in Riverview, right next to Tampa. And she wanted to move to Florida before she even met me, so it just worked out well. We both want to be in Florida. That's where we live now. We're recording this video in Pennsylvania because we're traveling this weekend. But it was a journey. I just want to say you never know what's going to happen. Life is crazy. It's unpredictable. Like one day, I'm just living life by myself in Florida. The next day I take a bullet through the hand and I'm married a few months later. So you never know. I'm very happy. We have a really great life. We both have jobs we like. We live in Florida. We have a boat. We travel all the time. We do fun stuff on weekends. We really do have an awesome life. We're very blessed. And, I'm very blessed to have Melissa in my life, and I'm very blessed to have my hand healed up as good as it did. So that is the life update. I know this video is kind of long.
You also have a dog.
That's right. We have a dog. We have a golden
Sadie.
retriever named Sadie. So it's me, Melissa, and Sadie down in Tampa. So everything's going great. I can't complain. The honest truth is this hand, is it messed up for life? Yes, but the surgeon did a great job fixing it. And it just, I don't even notice it anymore. I have a very normal life. I got my, you know, I still have my CDL because I don't know if anybody knows this, but to be a CDL truck driver, you have to have a medical certification. They make you take an exam every 2 years. And I actually just had one, and I'm 100% good. I still meet all the requirements with this hand to be a truck driver, so I have the job I love. I'm going to think of 10 things I wanted to say when this video ends. That is the way it goes. But yeah. So you'll see Melissa in some travel vlogs. Like the next video after this, we're in Pennsylvania this weekend. You'll see both of us in that video. And going forward, we have a Las Vegas trip coming up in about 4 months. Like, I don't know how much we're going to fly this summer because the prices are so crazy right now. With the fuel being so high, the flight prices are really high. And we just bought a boat, so we'll probably be weekends in, home in Florida, running around in that. So I'll do some vlogs from that.
Our daily adventures.
Every day is an adventure. If you guys have any questions about what's going on in my life, the status of this channel, or videos, or just anything about us and our life and our marriage, as long as it's not too personal, I'll answer it. Either write in the comments, or if there's enough questions, maybe I'll do a video. But life goes on. It's better than ever. Travel continues. Life in Florida continues. The love of my life is here. So you never know what's going to happen. Just live life to the fullest extent. Don't take anything for granted. And make the best out of every situation. Anything you want to add?
No, I think you got it.
All right. So that is the update. And one more quick thing. My cousin Jason in Colorado, who was with me when I, shot myself, he's doing great. He's the one who I credit with saving my life, getting me to the hospital. If I was alone out in the woods, who knows what would have happened. I would have had a hard time driving. Like, I couldn't even get in the Jeep. I was in shock. He had to, help me climb into the Jeep, to get me to the hospital. And yeah, hey Jason, if you're watching this video, which he probably is, he watches them all. Thank you for everything you did for me. I got my life back. Jason's doing good, everybody. He'll be in a video at some point, I'm sure. We've been meaning to go back out to Colorado. And there will be a video. We are going to go back to Colorado and go to the spot way up in the mountains where I shot myself and just revisit it. So we're going to do that. Not exactly sure when, but we're going to do that. And there'll, of course, be videos. But Jason's doing good. The gun that shot me, he still has it. He still has it. And I told him, don't you ever get rid of it. If you're ever going to sell it, I'll buy it from you. That's going to stay in the family for sure.
Great.
Yep.
Memories.
Oh, yeah. Again, if you have any questions, leave a comment. As long as they're not too, personal, I'll answer them. We'll answer them together or see how it goes. But thank you guys for watching these videos. This channel is actually about to hit 1 million views. The rate it's going, it'll be within the next month. Which is, that's a blessing in itself. And granted, the travel vlogs aren't nearly 1 million view popular. Not even close, but I have a couple videos from events and things I went to, and the videos I put the least amount of effort into get the most views, and the ones I put the most effort into, get 100 each. But you know what? I'm not complaining. The 100 of you out there that watch these videos, a sincere thank you. And I think we will wrap it up because we're going on 25 minutes. So, thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day or night whenever you watch this.
Yeah. So we'll be around with more travel vlogs. Everything's gonna keep on rolling. So thanks for watching, and I am okay and doing better than ever.